I just wanted to remind everyone that it is written in the US Constitution that it is perfectly acceptable and legal that if the American people are not satisfied with who or what we have in office, we can overthrow the government. I'm just going to put that out there for you.
I hope you Trump supporters know exactly what you guys voted for. And this is something that you are going to have to live with. You just voted for children to not have free school lunches. You voted for veterans to not have any type of benefits. You voted for your grandma and grandpa to be thrown out of a nursing home. You voted for hospitals to shut down because of this Medicaid cut. We don't want to hear shit. The moment that it starts to hit your home and your pockets, we don't want to hear shit. A lot of you voted for Trump because you wanted to own the libs. Well, guess what? Your ass is about to be owned too because see, this bill doesn't discriminate. Do you think these motherfucking Republicans thought about Trump supporters? No, because the majority of you Trump supporters that live in red states live off of SNAP and Medicare and Social Security. A lot of you freaking maggots also served in the military. So guess what? You guys voted against your best interest, thinking that you were going to own the libs. Do you think that Donald J. Trump gives two flying fucks? These fucking Republicans were celebrating taking 17 million people off of health insurance, which includes you. They're not going to sit there and pick and choose. Oh, Trump supporter, they're safe. Oh, Democrats, get them off. Trump supporters, safe. Democrats, off. No. Anyone who is on Medicaid or Medicare is going to get cut, and they don't give two flying fucks if you voted for it. You fucked around and found out you didn't want to vote in a woman because the majority of you beta males that voted for Trump didn't want to see a woman in charge. So now you guys fucked around and you're about to find out.
Yo, listen, side note for the day. I just seen a fucking post of this MAGA individual talking about now is not the time for division. A lot of people are going to be affected by this bill. A lot of us made a mistake in our votes. It should be some form of understanding. We need to work together. To which I say, fuck off. Fuck off. You no longer get to come to the cookout, bitch. You lost that right a long time ago. You lost that right in the first term as far as I'm concerned. Anybody that voted for that demented force that's cosplaying the president that y'all put in that office, and now you want us to come together and do the kumbaya, we should work together. Ooh, fuck off, bro. A lot of y'all were online talking about, oh, I did it to own the libs. I did it to own the libs. It gives me great pleasure to see the libs owned. Well, y'all are the ones that's owned now. You owned yourself, bitches. You owned yourself. How does it feel to be that feckless? Huh? Huh? You coming to the realization that you fucked yourself over. Don't come back crawling over here. We good over here. We gonna get through these next few years, all of us on this side, and we gonna do it together. Y'all are no longer invited to any part of the table. It has been shortened, and it's been shortened for those of us that give a fuck, for those of us that have compassion, for those of us that give a shit about people. My compassion for you guys is over. You, to me, I've already had your funerals, so I don't talk to ghosts, so do yourself a favor and go stick with the very people that helped get this shit into play and feel the benefits of it, full benefits of it. You wanted it, you voted for it, you thought you were being cute trying to own us, and y'all are the ones feeling it, so take that L and enjoy your life. Don't come over here with that let's stick together shit, because it means absolutely fucking nothing coming out of that hollow hole of a mouth of yours. Hope that helps, bitch. Enjoy your life.
They fucking passed it. The one big beautiful bill is officially law. And I hope you're ready because what's coming is going to hurt real people. This isn't just some tax cut, it's a mass deportation machine. Billions in cuts to Medicaid, the death sentence for dozens of rural hospitals. It's targeting immigrants, poor families, trans kids, and anyone who doesn't fit into their America First fantasy. No taxes on tips and overtime? Yeah, sounds nice. But that's just bait. While you're looking at the shiny parts, they're gutting everything underneath. Public education, food assistance, even your damn healthcare. And the child tax credit? Sure, it increases a little if you're the kind of family they approve of. Meanwhile, millions of kids will be left behind, especially immigrant and low-income families. Donald Trump just signed a bill that looks more like a manifesto than actual legislation. It's cruel, it's calculated, and it's real. So, if you've been watching all of this thinking, they wouldn't actually do that, wake the fuck up, because they just did. And if you've been silent until now, please, you better start making noise, because this is only the beginning.
I'm sitting here trying to make a video before I go home because I don't typically talk about my dude on TikTok, and I especially don't do it when I'm at home because it just, like, he's there. I don't want to be talking about him but the long story short is that he has struggled with mental health issues for his entire life, and it's due to extreme trauma in his childhood, like significant ongoing trauma that created complex PTSD and responses that I believe are full dissociative identity disorder. He's never been diagnosed, but I've seen him dissociate for days at a time in response to a triggering situation. And over the last 2 years, he has been making so much progress. And the reason that he's been making so much progress is because he qualified for Medicaid. And he saw a therapist, and he's gotten medication to help balance him a little bit so that he can have enough space to do the work and heal and try to learn better coping mechanisms. And he's really struggling right now, which is fine, but I see him struggling so hard. And this is with the medication and the therapy. And I think about the idea that he's probably going to lose the Medicaid that is providing the medication and the therapy for him. And we don't have the means to have insurance or to go to the doctor. And there's so much healthcare that he needs. His teeth are a mess. And it's just from a lifetime of not taking care of them, not taking care of himself because of all this trauma and mental health issues that he's not taking care of. And it just breaks my heart to think that there's people out there that don't think that he deserves that because he can't work, because he can't physically go check into a job and flip your fucking burgers, he can't. He wouldn't be good. You wouldn't want him working for you right now. You wouldn't want him probably working with you. You wouldn't want him interfacing with customers. He can't have a job right now. His job is to heal himself. In our garden, that's his thing. He wants to turn it into a market garden. And he's made so much progress, and he's getting so close. And he's struggling so hard. And I'm so angry at you if you voted for this. So angry.
Medicaid don't look like what you picture in your head. I am on Medicaid. My family is part of the 3.1 million North Carolinians who are on Medicaid. And I will tell you right now, it has been a godsend for my family. I do not know how we would survive financially without it. I lost my job in July of 2024, July 12th. We are almost to the 1 year point of me being unemployed without full-time employment. And Medicaid has helped keep my family afloat because there are medical issues in my family that need to be addressed, and was not able to continue to pay for COBRA. I had very good insurance at my old job. I had a very good paying job with great insurance. And I was paying $3,000 out of pocket every month for the first 3 months for COBRA to keep that insurance. And that was not sustainable. And I had a lot of issues personally thinking about applying for Medicaid because how much money I used to make, and thinking, well, Medicaid is for people who don't make much money and who really need help. But the truth is, I needed help, and I had to swallow my pride, and my family needed that help, and it has been so helpful. And now I don't know what's going to happen. I have spent the past 12 months applying for jobs nearly every day, networking, interviewing for jobs, being contacted by recruiters who then ghost me and don't even show up for the interview time that they set up. The job market is that bad. Medicaid is not about people who are lazy. It's about people who need help. And right now, my family has needed help. I don't know what North Carolina is going to do about Medicaid. I know the state can't afford to fund it at the same way it had been. And hopefully for me and my family, one of these jobs I'm interviewing for lands, and that's our ticket off of Medicaid and to health insurance once again. But I know that that's my case. If I'm that lucky, there's still literally millions of others across the state who won't be so lucky, and millions more across the country. And I realize there are parts of this big, beautiful bill that will probably help me once I get a job. Like, that's not lost on me. But please understand that there are millions of people out there who probably look just like you, might be your neighbor, might be one of your best friends who you have no idea is on Medicaid because they really want to work. They're willing and able to, but they haven't gotten that opportunity. So before you shout from the rooftops that this piece of legislation is passed, just think about those that it is going to affect in a negative way and see what you may be able to do for them.
Congratulations, MAGA. Your vote for Trump is the reason why senior citizens will be kicked out of their nursing homes. Before you flood my comment section screaming fake news, I'm going to provide some verifiable facts. Google's free. You can go look at the bill. 60% of nursing home residents rely on Medicaid to cover their care. That is a fact. And Trump's new tax plan, it cuts the provider tax by 41%. This slashes how much support states receive from the government for nursing homes. That's a 41% funding cut. That is a fact. The American Healthcare Association says that 1 in 4 nursing homes could shut down and half of their staff will be eliminated. That's a fact. So where do these senior citizens go? Some might have family to take them in, but for others, this is the end of the road. There's no place for them to go. This is what your vote for Trump is doing. It's pushing vulnerable seniors out of care and onto the streets. And that is a fact. This isn't America first. This is our elderly last. If you voted for Trump, you made this happen. I hate to say it. This is on you.
Obama once said, elections have consequences. And I say to the American people, elections have consequences. This big, beautiful bill is the sum total of everything we warned Trump supporters about. So many of you were voting on emotion, but not facts. You were voting on what you felt, not what was known, not what was given. The Republican Party, for Christ's sake, wrote out an entire book called Project 2025. A roadmap to what it is they wanted to achieve once they obtained power. And many of you refuse to read it. Many of you refuse to understand the content that was in that book. And now, because of your ignorance, you're now in a situation where you have a president that you supported who is doing everything in his power to uproot y'all's lives. This big, beautiful bill strips the very programs that many Trump supporters benefit from, and also those who did not vote for Donald Trump. Your white, uneducated Americans who live in rural areas, you guys are going to be hurting soon. That hospital that exists in your small town is about to be stripped clean because it received a lot of government subsidies to stay open. That way you didn't have to drive miles and miles and miles to the next hospital. Now you won't have that anymore. Those hospitals will now close. This is why it's so important to vote based off of facts and not your opinion, not your emotions, and not what you feel. Because you end up in situations like this. And I say again, my fellow Americans, elections have consequences. And this is a consequence of the vote you all casted in November of last year. Live with it.
Is a list of 300 plus hospitals that are projected to close if the big, beautiful budget bill goes through. I am going to give you the facts right now. So each of these hospitals on this list ended up there for two reasons. One, they are in the top 10% of Medicaid receivers in the entire country. Or B, they reported a loss over the past 3 years. Now, you might think this does not affect you. Who's on Medicaid? I'm not on Medicaid. You might not be on Medicaid. But 82 million Americans are. And who does that cover? It covers children. 4 out of 10 children are on Medicaid. People with disabilities, everybody knows somebody with disabilities. Low-income adults, and elderly in long-term care. Now, I've given you all the shitty facts and you're like, okay, great, now what? Now you need to call your representatives, your senators. I know everyone says that, but this is how action happens. When phones are ringing off the hook, it gets noticed. Call after hours, leave voicemails, send emails, share this with everyone that you know who could possibly be affected by this or who cares about people who are going to be affected by this. While you might not be affected, I might not be affected, our most vulnerable neighbors will be affected. And if we claim to care about all Americans, our legislation and our budget needs to reflect that. I know we all saw Mitch McConnell's comments today about a lot of senators getting phone calls from back home about the cuts to Medicaid, but failure is not an option and they will get over it. That's what he thinks about his constituents. If you're fine with that, be fine with that. But I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with the most vulnerable groups in our community getting reamed by greedy politicians.